The case against 6 men who were arrested in Volksrust in Mpumalanga for allegedly dealing in drugs will now appear in court on Friday. The 5 Mexicans and 1 South African were caught on Friday at an illegal drugs manufacturing lab. Drugs worth in value of 350 million rand were found after a tip-off. Newzroom Afrika's Mweli Masilela is following that story for us. Mweli, good afternoon to you. What's the latest on this?
Stephen, the case has been postponed to Friday, as you have rightly put it, and it was actually the major concern here in court was the issue of the language of the 5 suspects from Mexico, and the magistrate presiding over the case actually making it clear in court that as much as they are foreigners, they do have rights. They need to understand as to what exactly is being said. And also on our side, as media personnel, we made an application to film inside court. So they also need to be heard in as far as that matter is concerned, even though the magistrate will be the one who's going to decide at the end whether we are granted permission to film inside court and take those proceedings inside court. But also another element coming from the side of the Hawks is that there are still some more suspects that are still being pursued, because when they heard or when they learned that they are now being wanted by the police, they actually fled the scene. So there's this 6 now at the present moment that are still remanded in custody. But we know also, Stephen, that another subject of investigation is that this particular farm, who is actually the owner, the Hawks they don't want to divulge much information at the present moment. They're only saying that they are still pursuing those investigations. But you'll understand also, Stephen, because that person, the owner of the farm, might also be one of the prime suspects in as far as this matter is concerned. But speaking to Colonel Makonseni, Colonel Makonseni, who speaks on behalf of the Hawks here in Mpumalanga, he did say that they are actually concerned by what is happening in Mpumalanga. If you look into the fact that this year, this is not the first time such a bust is actually happening. You look into April, there was also a bust in Standerton, the very same issue of drugs, even though in terms of value it was an estimated 20 million rand, which is actually lower than what we are seeing here in Volksrust. But also touching on the fact that there might be a very serious syndicate operating in these areas, because when you look at Volksrust and Standerton, these are towns that are actually 100 kilometers apart from each other. And also another common element is that these are towns, small towns that are closer to KwaZulu-Natal. So what the law enforcement officers are saying that perhaps also the Durban Harbour might be one of the routes that is actually contributing in as far as the movement of drugs is concerned. That is why then the Hawks are saying that they'll continue with this investigation, as they still want to find out as to who exactly are the kingpins in as far as this issue of dealing in drugs is concerned. Because when you look into what has been happening here in Volksrust, Stephen, it's very clear that it was indeed a huge operation, and the acting provincial commissioner Zef Mkwanazi, as well as the MEC for community safety, actually took time yesterday to visit the area, the crime scene, where this drug lab was actually discovered. And they are saying that at least they are happy that as much as there is a lot of these kind of activities happening, they are happy that there are people who are willing to come forward and give that information, which has actually led to the success of this operation, Steve.